Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 8, so today we are going to talk about how to make right choice to maintain health. So what is carbohydrate? Carbohydrate is a micronutrient that found in the food and drinks. Sugar, starch and fiber, also known as carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a class chemical compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in 1:1 ratio respectively. The simple carbohydrate include monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharide. Carbohydrate can be represented by the stoichiometric formula CH2ON, where N is the number of carbon in the molecule. Glucose, lactose and fructose all have the same chemical formula C6H12O6. They differ structurally and chemically. Most monosaccharide names end with the sulfate-ose. Disaccharide, also called double sugar or biose in the sugar form when two monosaccharides are joined by glycosidic linkage. Three common examples: sucrose, lactose and maltose. Polysaccharides serve for the storage of energy, for example starch and glycogen, as a structural component, for example cellulose.
We will see the differences between good carbs and bad carbs. Okay, good carbs are also known as whole carbs or complex carbs. It is a type of carbs that are unprocessed and contain the fiber that is found naturally in food. Example of good carbs are whole grains such as brown rice, quinoa, wheat and oats. And then there are fruits, vegetables, beans and legumes. These are the best carbs for your health as they are in the closest state to nature. They also contain varying amount of fiber that is beneficial for our body to survive and thrive. When you always consume good carbs, you will likely to get stronger and healthier every day. There are some characteristics of good carbs which are low or moderate in calories, high in nutrients and low content of sodium.
Bad carb. What really bad carbs is? Bad carb, also known as a simple carb, this carbohydrate is most likely cause for fat or gaining weight if we take too much of it. Simple carbohydrate digest food more quickly than complex carbs, but the energy we store as a glycogen in our cell, and if not used immediately, it will convert it to a fat. Bad carb is also processed carb food that have stripped of their natural nutrient and fiber and have a negative effect on a metabolic health. Example of bad carbs are cereal, candy, sodas, white rice, french fries, pasta. It is best to limit consumption of this food as much as you need only to maintain an ideal weight.
Numerous studies show that refined carbohydrate consumption is associated with health conditions like obesity and type 2 diabetes. Refined carbohydrates tend to cause spikes in blood sugar levels, which leads to a subsequent crash that can trigger hunger and lead to food cravings. They are usually also lacking in essential nutrients, in other words, they are empty calories. There are also added sugars, which should be limited as they are linked to all sorts of chronic diseases. However, all carbohydrate-containing foods shouldn't be demonized because of the negative health effects of processed items. Whole food sources of carbohydrates are loaded with nutrients and fiber and don't cause the same spikes and dips in blood sugar levels. Numerous studies on high-fiber carbohydrates, including vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains, show that eating them is linked to improved health.
The main question is how to make the right choice between good carbs and bad carbs. So, as a general rule, carbohydrates in their natural fiber-rich form are healthy, while those stripped of their fiber are not. If it's a whole, single ingredient food, then it's probably a healthy food. For most people, no matter what the carbohydrate content is, instead of thinking of carbs either good or bad, focus on increasing whole and complex option of those they are processed.